Creating impressions. In 1964, I was walking down a street in Seattle with Bob Hope and Arnold Palmer when a woman came up to Hope and said, "Do you remember me? We met 2 years ago in Cincinnati." Hope was very polite, but obviously had no idea who the woman was. After she left, he turned to Arnold and me. "Can you believe that?" he said. "You meet 10,000 people a year, and someone comes up to you 2 years later and expects you to remember her name. As for me, I'm pretty bad with names, and I presume everybody else is pretty bad with names too. No matter how many times I have met someone, if I am not 100% sure that person knows my name, first and last, I am going to open with, 'I am Mark McCormick.' This is a minor point, but that's exactly what making the right business impression is all about. The day-to-day flow of business rarely provides for the monumental act or the grand gesture. Just as you can gain some of the greatest insights into people by the little things they say and do, it is the little things you say and do that often make the most enduring impression. How people relate to you in business is based on the conscious and unconscious statements you make about yourself. The way you dress, your phone manner, your efficiency, the way you phrase a letter, the way you greet people, all affect the impression you make on others. They are reading of you, making people perceive you in the way that you want to be perceived. It is an artful form of manipulation. One of life's big frustrations is that people don't do what you want them to do. But if you can control their impressions of you, you can make them want to do what you want them to do. In any new business situation, there is a kind of mutual sizing up that goes on between the players. Each is trying subtly to exert his or her influence over the other. Whoever is better equipped to control the impressions being formed will walk away accomplishing the most, certainly in the short term and most likely in the long term as well. A friend of mine calls this flashpoint of human contact the pyrotechnics of business. While I can agree with this terminology in terms of the importance and impact of creating impressions, it may be the subtlety of the process. Obviously, people who think they are being manipulated and controlled won't be. The most effective executives impress in unobtrusive ways. Sometimes this is a simple act or gesture that, if never made, would probably never be missed, and that's precisely why it will be noticed when it is made. Often, particularly in negotiations, the way something is phrased totally alters the dynamics of the relationships involved. I have even seen it come down to the addition or deletion of a single word or two, the use of an "I agree," for instance, even when you don't, and before cancelling it out with a "but." I was once having lunch with Ray Cave, the managing editor of Time magazine, and when we reached the restaurant, Ray greeted the waiter with, "Good to see you again." The waiter perked right up and immediately led us to our table. After he disappeared, I said to Ray, "I thought you told me you had never eaten here before." "I haven't," he said. A colleague of Ray Cave, Patricia Ryan, the managing editor of People magazine, once told me that if she is having a business lunch in which she anticipates being intimidated or not being taken seriously enough, she will order a scotch and water. She rarely drinks, but just ordering a scotch instead of a Perrier creates a subtle, almost imperceptibly different, business impression. The subtlety of making impressions, of course, is what demands the self-awareness. Conscious connection between the impression you create and the impression you want to create. Often people who think they are being impressive, who make a show of it or of themselves, are indeed creating very strong impressions, almost all bad. But even worse than a skewed self-awareness is none at all. Have you ever seen a business executive discovering there is a problem with an airline reservation, start to yell and scream at the ticket clerk? Here is the one guy left with the power to get him on that plane, and he goes out of his way to alienate him. This is the own worst enemy syndrome. Even if you have something worth saying, if you express it in a tone or a manner that is a turn off, it guarantees no one will listen. Be aware of all the subtle opportunities you have every day for impressing positively and all the not so subtle opportunities you have for impressing negatively. Creating the right impression can be as simple as treating people the way they want to be treated, or as difficult as treating them that way even when they beg not to be. The impression you have made is what allows you to be less than perfect. If you can take advantage of all the little opportunities to create an overall ongoing impression of competence, effectiveness, maturity, and fair-minded toughness, the kind of person people want to do business with, they will overlook the occasional transgression. People will forgive all sorts of out-of-character behavior in you if their overall lasting impression is a favorable one.